possible that our society has come to a sense of acceptance regarding rape? Do the attitudes of people deter victims from reporting rape to police? I went on Facebook and searched for pages related to rape and found these. Being a rapist, I'm not a rapist, but get in the van. And we all have a friend that's a rapist while drunk. There's also this, an article from the Daily Aztec. The article references an alternative newspaper, The Koala, that had an article titled, "How Not to Get Raped. Take this quiz to find out." The quiz gives an array of ways a girl can victimize herself. Finally, there's an article, originally from the New York Times in 1990, but referenced by the New Republic, that speaks of Clayton Williams, a politician, who compared the weather spoiling an event to a rape, stating that if it's inevitable, just lie back and enjoy it. Outraged yet? How about the fact that few rapists will serve jail time? According to Rape, Abuse, and Incest National Network, only 46 rapes out of every 100 get reported to police. Only 12 lead to an arrest. 9 will get prosecuted. 5 will lead to a felony conviction. And 3 will spend even just a single day in jail. And also, 1 in 4 women in college will be the victim of either an attempted or an actual sexual assault, and 1 in 6 women in the entire population throughout their lifetime. So it's a serious issue. Why aren't more rapists serving a prison term? Why do few women report rape? Is it our society's attitudes concerning rape? Something needs to change. We need victims to be comfortable reporting rape. We need to stop joking about it. A matter treated lightly by the public, victims will lose confidence and won't want to report it. Time magazine explains how our culture victimizes victims. Their article gives an example of an 11-year-old who was brutally raped by 18 men. The journalist who reported this story included descriptions of the child, and I quote, "Local residents said she dressed older than her age, wearing makeup in fashions more appropriate to a woman in her 20s. It's almost as if the journalist and local residents were blaming the child. These kinds of statements can make a victim feel as if they are at fault because of the way they dress or act. It can also cause members of our society to pity the victim less. It's an attitude of, she asked for it. In fact, an article from the Crimson White remarks that our society tells women the shorter the skirt, the more you're asking for it. Society also puts a burden of responsibility on women to avoid it. An example is given by Time magazine. At a student safety lecture at York University, members of York Security and the Toronto Police gave safety tips, including this one, a suggestion that female students could avoid sexual assault by not dressing like sluts. As children, women are taught to avoid rape, and it continues into adulthood. Don't dress too sexy, don't go out alone at night, don't get too drunk, don't accept a drink by a stranger, and so on. There's truth that society's attitudes about rape deter women from reporting it. About.com gives these reasons why victims keep quiet. They don't want family or other people to know. They lack proof the incident happened, and they fear that when alcohol's involved, they'll be blamed. An article from the Telegraph surveyed women on reasons why they don't report rape and found that half are embarrassed or ashamed, and over half said the legal system, media, and society are unsympathetic to the victims. This is a problem, but even if more rape victims report rape, few are jailed. This is an equally big problem. The survey results from the Telegraph also show that 2/3 of those surveyed would hesitate to report the crime because they don't think that the rapist will go to jail. Even if they are sent to prison, their sentences can be brief. An example from Forest Grove News is a serial rapist who was convicted of 4 counts of first-degree rape, 3 counts of second-degree rape, and 1 count of attempted rape against 8 girls ages 12 to 16 only received 10 years in prison. It's only over a year per rape. The Middletown Press reported a story of a 19-year-old who was raped and her rapist was sentenced to just 15 months in jail. WLAX reports of a rapist who was given a 60-day jail sentence for repeatedly raping a little girl over 4 years. And finally, a counselor raped a 15-year-old and sexually assaulted a 15-year-old and got no prison time. Instead, he only got 10 years of probation. Sentences like these tell the victims that their rape wasn't a severe crime. The website raperesistance.org writes of a Philadelphia study that found that only 7.5% of reported rapes result in a guilty verdict. Not only are rapists given light sentences, they are rarely found guilty. This is a huge problem. In an article titled Statistical Information About Sexual Abuse, it states all of those arrested for major crimes such as murder, rape, robbery, assault, burglary, larceny, theft, motor vehicle theft, and arson, rapists are most likely to escape conviction. It would appear that rape is quite easy to get away with. What can be done to help victims feel comfortable reporting rape? To increase society's support and sympathy for victims, and to increase arrest rates and penalties. A huge solution would be to be more sensitive as a society. Stop supporting people who make comments, who make inappropriate jokes, and it would also help if we could stop blaming the victims. No matter which way they dress, they don't deserve the blame. Rape needs to be treated seriously. It's a vicious crime, and there's nothing remotely funny about it. We need to encourage women to report it and be supportive when she does. Once reported, police need to make rape a priority regardless of whether the woman knows her attacker or not. According to the Daily Beast, most rapes are by someone the victim knows, and at times law enforcement see no need to test a rape kit since they already know who the rapist was. However, research has shown that these are the most likely to be repeat offenders. By not testing the rape kit, they may be letting these rapists get away with more crimes, and even if they're arrested, they will only be charged for that one crime and never charged for any previous crimes. Laws need to have harsher penalties, at the very least, a minimum. Although some rapists do receive very harsh penalties, there is not a uniform sentence. Imagine if women no longer worried about public scrutiny and felt comfortable reporting rape. Imagine that rape became a bigger priority for police. All rape kits were processed. That arrest rates went up for that. Women's Crisis Support Team states that after an attack, victims may fear that their attacker will return, they will face criticism from family, friends, and society, and that they will experience frustration dealing with the legal process. We can eliminate all of that for victims. The after effects of just processing all the rape kits is already seen in New York City. They have adopted a new policy of testing every rape kit, have increased their arrest rate, and even were able to exonerate a wrongly convicted defendant. How can you help? You can complain when media jokes about rape. You can complain when individuals make inappropriate comments. You can be supportive to a rape victim. And you can contact your congressmen or women about increasing penalties for rape and about increasing funding so that all rape kits are processed. These are the websites. Both of these will help you find your congressmen or women, and they will help you get to a page where you can actually write them and contact them directly.